The dumbest ideas sometimes win wars, my grandfather used to say, tapping his weathered fingers on our old kitchen table while sharing stories from his time in the space fleet. I never quite understood what he meant until I found myself standing on the observation deck of humanity's latest contribution to the Galactic Defense Force, a ship that looked like someone had welded a shipping container to a rocket and called it a day. As the ship's tactical officer, I should probably feel more confident about our chances in the upcoming joint military exercise with our alien allies. But how can I when our vessel, proudly named the HSA Unconventional, breaks practically every rule of modern space warfare? While other species parade their sleek, angular warships bristling with advanced weaponry, we showed up in what essentially looks like a space-worthy brick. The Zentari representatives actually laughed when we first unveiled it at the Galactic Council. I still remember their ambassador's face, those 6 eyes blinking in amused disbelief. The Proxians were more diplomatic, but I caught their delegation exchanging those knowing looks they give when they think we humans are being our charmingly primitive selves again. Truth is, none of them understand our history. They weren't there during the resource wars, when humanity had to adapt or die. They didn't see how we turned simple cargo ships into the backbone of our defense fleet. While they developed their gorgeous warships in times of peace, we learned to fight with whatever we had on hand. Looking out the viewport now, watching the stars streak by, I can't help but smile at that irony. Our allies' ships are technological marvels, no doubt about that. But they're also predictable. Their combat algorithms are built on thousands of years of established space warfare doctrine. And that's exactly what Fleet Command is counting on. The comm system crackles to life, interrupting my thoughts. All hands to battle stations. Joint exercise commencing in 10 minutes. Captain Chen's voice echoes through the corridors, steady as always. I hurry to my post in the tactical center, passing by crew members who share knowing grins. They've all been briefed on what's about to happen. The exercise scenario is simple. Our ship against 3 Zentari cruisers in a simulated combat encounter. They're expecting us to follow standard engagement protocols. They're expecting us to behave like a proper warship. They're expecting us to lose. What they don't know is that this stupid ship of ours is about to change everything they think they know about space combat. As I activate my tactical console, I catch a glimpse of our secret weapon through the internal monitoring system. Rows upon rows of what appear to be ordinary shipping containers lining our cargo hold. To anyone else, they look like simple storage units. That's exactly what we want them to think. The countdown timer hits 5 minutes. My palms are sweating as I run through the final systems check. Around me, the crew moves with practiced precision, despite the unconventional nature of our vessel. We might look like a joke to the rest of the galaxy, but we know better. We're about to prove that humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our resources. It's our ability to think outside the box, quite literally in this case. The exercise will begin any minute now. 3 of the most advanced warships in the galaxy against what looks like a glorified space truck. They have no idea what's about to hit them. As I ready my station for combat, I finally understand what my grandfather meant. Sometimes the dumbest idea is exactly what you need to change the game forever. The first Zentari cruiser appears on our tactical display, its crystal lattice hull gleaming under the light of distant stars. It's beautiful, really, a perfect example of their philosophical approach to warfare. Every angle is calculated to deflect energy weapons, every surface optimized for maximum sensor coverage. 2 more identical ships materialize from hyperspace, taking up flanking positions. Tactical, status report. Captain Chen's voice remains calm, but I catch the slight edge of anticipation. All systems nominal, Captain. Container deployment systems ready. Defensive screens at maximum capacity. I try to keep my own voice steady, but it's hard to contain the excitement. 3 years of development, countless simulations, and now we're finally going to see if our crazy gamble pays off. The Zentari ships begin their approach, moving in their signature delta formation. Their targeting systems are probably going crazy right now, trying to make sense of our ship's apparent lack of conventional weaponry. I can almost imagine their tactical officers' confusion as they scan us repeatedly, finding nothing but what appears to be a heavily shielded cargo hauler. "Remember your training," Captain Chen addresses the crew through the ship-wide comm. "This isn't about proving we're better. It's about showing there's more than one way to fight a battle." Her words echo what our instructors drilled into us during those long months of preparation. The galaxy had gotten too comfortable with its established rules of warfare. Someone needed to shake things up. The lead's Zentari ship broadcasts the traditional challenge signal, a formality in these exercises. As protocol demands, I patch it through to the bridge speakers. "Es unconventional. This is Cruiser Eternal Light. Prepare to engage in simulated combat. May honor guide our contest." Captain Chen responds with the customary acknowledgement, but I notice the slight smile in her voice. Honor is about to take a backseat to innovation. The Zentari ships begin their standard combat deployment, spreading out to envelope us in a classic three-dimensional crossfire. It's a textbook maneuver, one that's won countless battles across the galaxy. Against a conventional opponent, it would be devastating, but we're anything but conventional. "Distance to optimal range?" Captain Chen asks, her fingers drumming lightly on her armrest, the only sign of her tension. 30 seconds, Captain," I report, watching the range markers tick down. Container systems showing green across the board. Engineering reports all launch mechanisms are primed. Through the viewport, I can see the Zentari ship's weapon ports cycling open, their energy matrices charging with that distinctive purple glow. They're probably expecting us to make a run for it. That's what any sane crew would do when faced with 3 top-of-the-line cruisers. But we didn't come here to run. We came to revolutionize space warfare. 20 seconds to range, I announce, my hand hovering over the deployment controls. Around me, the bridge crew leans forward in anticipation. We've run this scenario hundreds of times in simulation, but this is different. This is real. The Zentari ships lock their weapons on us. I can feel their targeting systems probing our defenses, looking for weaknesses. They're about to learn that sometimes the biggest weakness is assuming you know all your enemy's tricks. 10 seconds. I call out, watching as the range markers align perfectly. Everything we've worked for comes down to this moment. The galaxy is about to learn why you should never underestimate humanity's capacity for unconventional thinking. Captain Chen straightens in her chair, her voice clear and confident. "Show them what this stupid ship can do." Deploying containers in 3, 2, 1. My fingers dance across the tactical console, initiating the sequence we've rehearsed countless times. The ship shudders slightly as the first wave of our cargo launches into space. From the outside, it must look like we're simply jettisoning shipping containers, a desperate move from a cornered vessel. The Zentari ships pause their advance momentarily, their sensors no doubt trying to determine if this is some kind of surrender gesture. That split second of hesitation is all we need. The containers begin their transformation, unfolding like mechanical flowers in zero gravity. Each one splits apart to reveal a swarm of small, automated drones. Thousands of them, far more than any conventional warship could carry. Drone swarms active and responding. I report, watching as the tactical display comes alive with countless new signatures. All units showing green status. The drones are basic by galactic standards, simple machines using centuries-old technology. But that's exactly what makes them brilliant. They're too primitive to be affected by modern electronic warfare, too numerous to be tracked effectively, and too cheap to care about losing. Captain Chen's voice carries a note of satisfaction. Execute pattern Delta 7. The swarms respond instantly, forming into predetermined attack formations. We'd spent months programming these maneuvers based on something no alien military had ever considered studying: Earth insect swarm behavior. The Zentari ships open fire, their advanced energy weapons carving beautiful purple arcs through space. But hitting our drones is like trying to shoot individual raindrops in a storm. For every drone they destroy, 5 more take its place, gradually surrounding their ships in a cloud of organized chaos. "Sir, the Eternal Light is attempting to engage their point defense systems." I call out, watching the lead ship's desperate attempts to ward off our swarm. But their defensive algorithms are designed to handle missiles and energy weapons, not thousands of simple machines acting with insect-like coordination. Through the viewport, I can see the confusion in their tactics. Their formation begins to break down as each ship tries to deal with the overwhelming number of targets. Their sophisticated targeting systems, designed to track dozens of threats, are being overloaded by hundreds of thousands. They're trying to establish a communications link. Our comms officer announces, trying to hide a grin. I think they want to know what's happening. Maintain radio silence. Captain Chen orders. Let them figure it out. The exercise rules didn't say anything about having to explain our tactics during combat. My tactical display shows the swarms executing their next phase, creating complex three-dimensional patterns that make it impossible for the Zentari ships to predict where the next attack will come from. It's beautiful in its own way, like watching a murmuration of starlings in space. Sir, detecting energy build-up in their main weapons. I report, watching the readings spike. They're preparing to launch a full-spectrum energy burst. It's a desperate move, one that would drain their ship's power reserves considerably in a real battle. Captain Chen leans forward in her chair. Right on schedule. All hands, brace for Phase 2. This is the moment we've been waiting for, the real test of our stupid ship's capabilities. The Zentari are about to learn that those weren't all of our surprises. As their ship's energy weapons charge to maximum capacity, I catch my breath. Everything we've theorized, everything we've trained for, comes down to the next few moments. The galaxy's about to learn why humanity's non-standard thinking makes us such dangerous opponents. And as I watch the energy readings from the Zentari ships climb higher, I can't help but think that sometimes the best way to win isn't to play by the rules. It's to change the game entirely. The Zentari ships release their full-spectrum energy burst, a blinding flash that momentarily overloads our viewport filters. In a real battle, this would have been their trump card, a desperate move designed to fry every electronic system within range. Against our primitive drones, they probably expected it to be devastating. Energy burst impact in 3, 2, 1. I count down, watching as the wave of energy washes over our swarms. For a moment, everything goes quiet. On the tactical display, hundreds of drone signatures wink out. But then something unexpected happens, something that makes me smile despite my professional demeanor. Sir, the drones are regenerating. The Zentari tactical officer's confused voice breaks through on an open channel, forgetting protocol in their surprise. They're watching as our supposedly destroyed drones power back up, their simple systems rebooting almost immediately. What they don't know is that we'd specifically designed these drones with 1980s technology, hardened electronics that laugh in the face of electromagnetic pulses. Sometimes the old ways are the best ways, especially when your enemies have forgotten they ever existed. But that's not our real surprise. While the Zentari ships focused on our drone swarms, they missed something crucial. The empty containers that launched our drones weren't actually empty after launch. Each one had a secondary compartment, and now they're drifting innocuously among the debris of our disabled drones. Phase 2 authorization confirmed. Captain Chen announces. Tactical, you may proceed. I enter the command sequence, and those seemingly harmless container remnants suddenly come alive. They begin releasing clouds of what appears to be metallic dust, another primitive weapon inspired by Earth's history, specifically by World War II chaff, but with a very modern twist. Sir, enemy ships are reporting critical sensor failures. Our comms officer reports, not even trying to hide their amusement now. The Zentari vessel's sophisticated sensor arrays, designed to penetrate any known stealth technology, are being completely blinded by clouds of simple metal particles. But we're not done yet. The real genius of our plan is about to unfold. The metallic cloud isn't just chaff. It's a precisely engineered synthetic crystal structure. And when those energy weapons fired, they energized every single particle. Power readings are spiking across the chaff field. I report, watching the energy patterns shift exactly as our simulations predicted. Crystal matrix alignment at 67% and climbing. The Zentari ships are now trapped in a cage of their own making. Every attempt to burn away the chaff with their energy weapons only makes it stronger, more energized. They're learning the hard way that sometimes the most effective weapon is turning your enemy's strength against them. Captain, I call out, trying to keep my voice steady as the readings continue to climb. We're detecting unusual energy patterns in the crystal matrix. This is something new, something we didn't see in the simulations. Captain Chen rises from her chair, her expression shifting from satisfaction to concern. The tactical display shows the energized chaff cloud beginning to pulse with an otherworldly rhythm, creating patterns we never anticipated. We might have just discovered something far more significant than a new way to wage war. All stations, full analysis, she orders, her voice tight with controlled excitement. I want to know exactly what's happening out there. Something tells me we've stumbled onto more than just a tactical advantage. The Zentari ships hang motionless in space, surrounded by our swarms and the mysteriously pulsing chaff cloud, as we all watch something unprecedented unfold before our eyes. Sometimes the stupidest ideas don't just win wars, they change our understanding of the universe itself. The energized crystal matrix continues its mysterious pulsing, creating patterns that dance across our tactical displays like an artificial aurora. That's when our science officer makes the breakthrough. Captain, these energy patterns, they're not random. They're forming a coherent quantum field structure, something we've never seen before. HFY unconventional. This is eternal light. The Zentari commander's voice crackles through our comms, all pretense of combat exercise protocol forgotten. Are you seeing what we're seeing? The energy field, it's creating some kind of spatial anomaly. Captain Chen exchanges glances with our science team before responding. We see it, eternal light. Recommend all ships maintain current positions. Whatever's happening here, it might be bigger than our exercise. The metallic cloud has begun to glow with an inner light, the energized particles arranging themselves into complex geometric patterns. Our primitive chaff, combined with their advanced energy weapons, has accidentally created something that shouldn't be possible, a naturally occurring quantum computer. Energy patterns are stabilizing. I report, watching as the readings settle into a regular rhythm. The field is processing something, running calculations we can't even begin to understand. The Zentari ship's sensors are now aligned with ours, all thoughts of combat forgotten as we jointly monitor this unprecedented phenomenon. Our stupid cargo ship and their advanced cruisers, working together to document something that could change our understanding of the universe. That's when it happens. The quantum field suddenly pulses with blinding intensity, and for a split second, I swear I see something in the space between spaces, a glimpse of somewhere else, or maybe someone else. All ships, are you receiving this? Captain Chen's voice is steady despite the extraordinary circumstances. The quantum field is transmitting data, vast amounts of it, flowing through our combined sensor arrays. We're receiving, the Zentari commander confirms. These are stellar maps, but they're showing star configurations we've never seen before, regions of space that shouldn't exist. As we watch in amazement, our accidental discovery continues to pour out information that will keep our scientists busy for decades. Star charts, physics equations, and concepts that blur the line between science and science fiction. Exercise command, this is HSS unconventional. Captain Chen broadcasts on the official channel. Request immediate science team deployment to our coordinates. And you might want to bring the Galactic Council representatives as well. I can't help but smile as I power down our combat systems. We came here to prove that humanity's stupid ideas had value. Instead, we might have just stumbled onto the biggest scientific discovery in galactic history, all because we refused to follow conventional wisdom. The Zentari ships are now positioning themselves in a protective formation around the quantum field, their crews as eager as ours to understand what we've discovered. Sometimes the best victories aren't won through superior firepower or advanced technology, but through the unexpected consequences of thinking differently. Send a message to Fleet Command, Captain Chen orders, a hint of amusement in her voice. Tell them their stupid warship just changed the galaxy, and remind them that sometimes the best way to advance isn't to build a better weapon, It's to build something so unconventional that it breaks all the rules. As I compose the message, I glance at the quantum field still pulsing with possibilities. Our cargo ship might look like a joke, but today it proved something important. In a universe full of incredible technology and advanced civilizations, humanity's greatest strength isn't our weapons or our ships. It's our ability to stumble onto greatness by daring to try things that everyone else thinks are stupid. 6 months after our accidental discovery, I stand once again on the observation deck of the HSS Unconventional, but everything feels different now. Our stupid warship has been officially redesignated as a research vessel. Though we've kept the name, it's become something of a badge of honor among the crew. The quantum field phenomenon we discovered that day has been stabilized and replicated in controlled conditions. Scientists from every species are working together to understand the vast library of information it revealed. Some say we've advanced our understanding of physics by centuries in just a few months. Others think we've barely scratched the surface of what we found. The Centauri, ironically, have become our strongest allies in this research. Their advanced sensor technology, combined with our unconventional approach to problem solving, has proven to be an unbeatable combination. They've even started incorporating some of our primitive technology into their new ships, acknowledging that sometimes the simplest solution is the most elegant. Quite a view, isn't it? Captain Chen's voice surprises me. I turn to find her standing beside me, watching the swarm of research vessels surrounding our ship. Did you know they're calling this the unconventional breakthrough in the scientific journals? I smile, remembering how it all started. Not bad for a cargo ship with ideas above its station. Through the viewport, I can see one of our drone swarms, now modified to help maintain the research equipment. They're still using that old 1980s technology, still proving that sometimes the past has more to teach us than we think. Fleet Command just approved the construction of 5 more ships of our class. She continues, pride evident in her voice. Though I hear they're making some modifications to the design. Apparently, someone convinced them that looking stupid might actually be a tactical advantage. We share a laugh at that. The galaxy has changed since our discovery. Species that once looked down on humanity's primitive approaches are now studying our history, looking for other forgotten technologies that might hold unexpected potential. There's talk of establishing a new research initiative specifically focused on repurposing old tech in new ways. You know what the really funny part is? Captain Chen says, turning to face me. We would never have made this discovery if we built a proper warship. All those advanced weapons, all that cutting-edge technology, it would have just gotten in the way. Sometimes the best way forward is to take a step back. She's right, of course. Our accidental quantum computer only worked because we used simple metal particles instead of complex electronic systems. The very stupidity of our design led to one of the greatest discoveries in human history. As I prepare to leave for my shift, I take one last look at the bustling activity around our ship. Research vessels from a dozen different species, all working together because a bunch of humans dared to think differently. We came looking for a new way to fight wars, and instead, we found a new way to make peace. Message from Fleet Command, Captain. Our comms officer calls out. They want to know when we'll be ready to test the modified quantum field generator. Captain Chen smiles. Tell them we'll do it our way. No rush, no pressure. After all, she adds with a wink in my direction, sometimes the stupidest ideas take time to become brilliant. I head to my station, thinking about how far we've come. Our cargo ship might not have won any beauty contests, but it changed the galaxy in ways no one could have predicted. And maybe that's the real lesson here. In a universe full of elegant solutions and advanced technology, sometimes the best approach is to embrace being stupid, because you never know where it might lead you. After all, as my grandfather used to say, the dumbest ideas sometimes win wars, but the truly brilliant ones, they can change everything.